Hello, fellow photographers. Today we're going to be shooting long exposure photos. Alright, I'm not sure how well you can hear me over the sound of the water, but I'm going to see if I can clean that up in post. But I've got my camera set up. I've composed a shot that we're going to take of a waterfall over here. And I want to shoot it at f2.8, so a very wide open aperture. I want to shoot it for 30 seconds, and I want to shoot it with an ISO of 64. So right now it's saying I'm way overexposed. So we're going to put on a neutral density filter and see how that goes. So prior to clicking the shutter, I already composed my shot, I already focused it in, and just had to double check. I'm pretty sure I shut it off of autofocus. Alright, so even with a 10 stop filter on it, we still are way overexposed. So we're going to slow this down to about 15 seconds and see what that does for us. Alright, that one's still coming out too overexposed. So we're going to go down to 10. This is probably the slowest I want to go. And we're going to boost the aperture to f8. Alright, so we're getting a lot closer. We're getting better. So we're going to boost the aperture up to f11. And sadly, this is the best way to really go about using a neutral density filter. You can sit there and do math and figure out what the stops are going to be, but I find it's a lot more fun just to trial and error and see what you get. All right, so this image here, looks like it came out very well. Got good blur. Looks like we have good sharpness here. It's a little dull. So we're going to remove the filter and we're going to adjust our sharpness a bit. Set this down for a second. We're going to turn on live view. We're going to zoom in where we want to focus. We're going to turn back on autofocus. Focus on that area. Get nice and sharp. We can see the little bugs on there. And now we're going to slide our filter back on. Shut off live view. Make sure our autofocus is off, and we're going to retake the picture. So the light meter reading is telling me that I am still a little overexposed at these settings. Although the picture comes out looking good on my screen, what I am going to do now is I'm going to slow it down a little bit more. And see if we can get back to that 30. And I'm going to boost this all the way up to f32. This picture came in just a little dark, although the light meter said it was good. We're going to lower this down to f22 and see where we are then. So what you might remember when you're shooting at too high of an aperture, you might run into diffraction. And that's probably what we're going to run into a little bit here. So let's take a look at this image. And I can see my edges are getting a little dull again. So we are going to lower this down to back to f11. And we're going to slow the shutter speed down to 20 seconds and see what that does for us. That came out just slightly bright. So we're going to try it again with the shutter speed at 10 seconds. That looks like it's going to be the best picture we can get. All right, and that is the in-the-field practical shooting with a neutral density filter. I hope this was informative. I know the last video I did on neutral density filters, we didn't really cover as much as I wanted to because I couldn't get outdoors and actually shoot. But hopefully this was informative. Hopefully you enjoy this process and have fun shooting, and I will see you next time.